Hi, welcome to Mindful Chatting on our Thoughtful Thursday series. Here's something that most people misunderstand about relationships. When people hear masculine and feminine energy, they assume it means that men act one way and then women act another. And that's not what this actually means at all. Masculine and feminine energy has nothing to do with gender. It has everything to do with how energy moves inside ourselves and relationships. And if you've ever wondered why certain relationships feel balanced while others feel exhausting, chaotic, and like someone is always over functioning, well, this dynamic is often part of that answer. Today, we're going to talk about what masculine and feminine energy actually mean, why couples unconsciously polarize into these roles, how safety determines which energy we move into, and why imbalance in these dynamics often leads to resentment. Chatting, a podcast where therapy meets real life. I'm Kristen, a therapist, business owner, and a lifelong student of what it means to fully show up in our relationships, in our work, and in our healing. Here, we unpack mental health concepts, explore mindfulness tools, and talk through the messy, beautiful, in-between moments that shape us. Whether you're a fellow clinician, a curious listener, or someone navigating your own growth, this space is for you. Let's chat. So when we talk about masculine and feminine energy throughout this episode, we are not talking about biological sex. These are going to be considered energies, and these energies exist in everyone. Both men and women move in and out of them depending on the situation, the relationship, and the emotional safety in that environment. Masculine energy tends to be associated with structure, direction, protection, leadership, and containment, where feminine energy tends to be associated with expression, emotion, fluidity, connection, and our intuition. Neither is better, and neither is worse. They are actually complementary systems of relating to people, ourselves, and the world. Healthy relationships, even healthy relationships with ourselves, require both of these energies. So most relationships unconsciously polarize into these energetic roles. One partner will tend to hold more structure, while the other one will tend to hold more emotional processing. This happens naturally because relationships seek balance. But the problem starts when the polarity actually becomes really rigid within that relationship. So here are a couple of examples. If one partner always carries the emotional labor within that relationship, and then the other one always carries the decision making, well, eventually resentment will come between those polarities. Or if one partner always has to be the strong one, then they may never feel safe to actually soften and be vulnerable within that relationship. And if one partner always holds the emotional space, well, they may feel like they're parenting instead of partnering with their partner. For any clinicians tuning in, if insurance billing is the part of your practice that drains your soul, Headway will be your best friend. They get you credentialed, send you referrals, manage your billing, submit your claims, all the stuff none of us went to grad school for. It's free to join, and honestly, it's been a huge support for therapists who want to take insurance without drowning in the administration part. My link is in the show notes if you want to check it out. One of the biggest misconceptions about masculine and feminine dynamics is that people choose them intentionally. Most of the time, we don't. We adapt based on our safety. When someone feels emotionally safe in a relationship, they tend to relax, and they relax into that natural energy. But when safety is compromised, people will shift. So someone who normally feels very expressive may actually become very controlling, or someone who normally leads may actually be really withdrawn, or someone who normally nurtures may become really defensive. What we call personality in relationships is often just adaptation to emotional safety. And one of the things that we have to consider in this is that if one is overcompensating in that polarity, the other one will naturally fall into the other side. We're always trying to make a complementary relationship. So when one partner consistently holds more responsibility, emotional regulation, or stability, this imbalance can form. So this often can sound like, I feel like I have to carry everything, or I feel like nothing I do is enough for you. The truth is that relationship conflicts are not about the surface issue. They're about energy imbalance. And when the relationship dynamic becomes too one-sided, both partners are going to feel it. One feels overwhelmed, and then the other one feels criticized or inadequate. Here's a quick note for my clinicians listening. If you're looking for a charting and practice management system that doesn't make you want to scream, well, guess what? I use Therapy Notes. It's clean, reliable, HIPAA compliant, and honestly saves me hours every week. You can try it with my link in the show notes. When we think about a healthy relationship, we need to allow people to move between these energies. A strong partnership allows both people to lead, to soften, to express, and hold structure when needed. And we need to do that flowing between each other, not one person holding one and the other person holding the other. Balance isn't about rigid roles, it's about flexibility. And the healthiest couples aren't the ones who perfectly divide responsibilities. They're the ones who can adapt to each other over time. If you find yourself feeling stuck in one role in your relationship, I want you to ask yourself this question. Do I feel safe enough to move out of this role? And if not, what might need to change so that the relationship allows both people to show up more fully? Because the healthiest relationships aren't about one person holding everything together. They're about two people sharing the weight of being human and the relationship. Thank you for joining me on a Thoughtful Thursday. I hope you're gentle with your mind. One more thing before you go, and this helps me personally, staying present and grounded, which we all need, especially when your brain wants to spiral into disconnection. Me too. It's Brain FM. It's musically designed to help ADHD brains, well, really anyone's brain, focus, relax, or sleep, and I use it almost daily. If you want to try it, I've dropped my link in the show notes. And if you're looking for planning tools or ADHD-friendly resources, I'll keep a list of my favorite links in every episode.